Imagine being locked in a room, no sunlight, no clocks, no way to escape. Now imagine being forced to stay awake for 30 days. In the late 1940s, 5 prisoners volunteered for a secret Soviet experiment. They were promised freedom. But what the scientists discovered inside that sealed chamber was something far worse than sleep deprivation. This is the terrifying legend of the Russian sleep experiment. The story takes place shortly after World War II. Soviet scientists were testing a powerful stimulant gas designed to eliminate the human need for sleep. To test it, they chose 5 political prisoners. The rules were simple. Stay awake for 30 days, and you walk free. The prisoners were locked inside a sealed chamber filled with the stimulant gas. There were microphones to monitor them, but no cameras because the gas interfered with electronics. So the scientists could hear everything, but they couldn't see anything. For the first few days, everything seemed normal. The prisoners laughed. They shared stories. They talked about life outside the prison walls. They spoke about the freedom waiting for them in 30 days. But by day 5, things started to change. Their conversations became darker. They began whispering to the microphones, complaining, blaming each other for the crimes that put them there. The atmosphere inside the chamber was shifting, and the scientists could feel it, even without seeing it. On day 9, something snapped. One of the prisoners began screaming, not yelling, not shouting, screaming for hours. He ran back and forth across the chamber, screaming until his voice literally tore itself apart. Eventually, no sound came out anymore, just silence. The other prisoners didn't try to help him. They didn't even react. Instead, they began whispering even more, as if they were talking directly to the scientists listening outside. Then, suddenly, the chamber went completely silent. No voices, no movement, nothing, for 3 entire days. The scientists grew nervous. The microphones still worked. But inside the chamber, there was only silence. Had they all died? Had something gone terribly wrong? Finally, on day 14, the researchers used the intercom. They spoke into the chamber. "We are opening the door to check the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor. Failure to comply will result in being shot." For a moment, there was nothing. Then a calm voice responded. A voice that didn't sound human anymore. "We no longer wanted to be freed." The scientists immediately decided to open the chamber. When the door finally opened, the smell hit them first. The smell of rotting flesh. What they saw inside was unimaginable. 4 prisoners were still alive. The 5th was dead. But death wasn't the worst part. The prisoners had mutilated themselves. Chunks of flesh were missing from their bodies. Bones were exposed, organs were visible, yet somehow they were still alive. And when the soldiers tried to remove them from the chamber, the prisoners begged for something, not freedom, not medical help. They begged for more of the gas. The soldiers attempted to pull them out anyway. What happened next was chaos. The prisoners fought like wild animals. One soldier had his throat ripped open, another was killed instantly. Despite their horrific injuries, the prisoners showed inhuman strength. Eventually, they were restrained and taken to surgery. Doctors tried to sedate them, but every time one of them began to fall asleep, their hearts stopped. Sleep would kill them. It was as if their bodies had forgotten how to rest, or worse, something inside them refused to allow it. Only one prisoner survived long enough to speak. Before placing him back into the chamber, one of the horrified scientists asked him a question. "What are you?" The prisoner slowly smiled. His face stretched across torn flesh and exposed bone. Then he answered, "We are you. We are the madness that hides inside every human being. We are what you become when you can no longer escape your own mind." Then the monitor flatlined. To this day, there are no official records proving this experiment ever happened. Most people believe it's just an internet horror story. But the real question isn't whether the experiment was real. The real question is this: If humans were forced to stay awake long enough, would we become monsters too? Subscribe for more terrifying stories, and remember, some things inside the human mind are better left asleep